Hello everybody from Lake Creek, Alaska. I'd like to welcome you back to my blog series, Alaska Bound. And this episode I'm going to be talking about where I work. It's called the Pioneer Cabin. I'm hired by the Wilderness Place Lodge to manage and guide this cabin. What people do is they fly over in a float plane over my shoulder. Yeah, that's a very shallow clearance there. It's not very, I'd say about 500 yard, and that big float plane has to take off and land here. So it's gonna be very interesting, very cool tomorrow. My first guests come in, and this is part of their adventure series. What they do is they'll come in, hang out for the day, and they'll go over and do a float trip back. But some of them also stay the night, so they do one night here, and they'll just hang out on the property and enjoy the peacefulness here, which is so quiet. I haven't heard a car in a month now, probably 3 weeks. I haven't heard anything, but the only thing good is I do have cell phone service, so I can do some blogs here and post them online. But other than that, I haven't talked to anyone. I haven't seen anyone in 5 days now, 6 days. My bosses haven't even come by. So anyways, I'd like to show you around the cabin. I think I've got it cleaned up and ready for the guests. I would consider this glamping, is what we would call it. You know, they come here, they're going to ride the kayaks, they're going to float around on the canoe, they're going to sit by the fire, and anyways, let's have a look around the Pioneer Cabin, all right? And I'll show you how it's all set up, and we'll get started, all right? So first off, here's the beautiful Lake Creek that they're going to get to see every morning. Here's the fire pit that I'll be fired up about 11 o'clock for my first guest tomorrow morning. They get here at 12 o'clock, and I'll stay here for a few hours, have them some lake lunch. They'll be grilling some steaks and some salmon and whatever they choose at the Wilderness Place Lodge, because whenever you come here, you get to pick whatever you eat. They really take care of you. But here is the Pioneer Cabin. I've got the firewood stocked. That's my pet peeve. I'm going to try to keep all the firewood stocked this summer and keep it going. I want people to have some good experiences up here, because that's what they hired me for, just take care of the guest. As you can tell over there in the corner, it is powered by solar. There's also a wood stove in there. A few years ago, back in 2020, this roof caved in from 8 feet of snow. So Wilderness Place Lodge, they flew in helicopters and equipment and all this metal, and because there ain't no roads here. The only way in here is up that river about 15 minutes from the Wilderness Place Lodge, or fly in. And another adventure set of series they may have here is riding some kayaks. So they get to kayak around. As you can tell, the snow-capped mountains over there. Hope you can see that, because it's really pretty. But yeah, you get to this cabin is an old gold patent cabin back in 1934. They really don't know how old it is. It could be like in the 1900s, early 1800s. So this is just definitely one of the off-grid cabins in Alaska. As you can tell, got my firewood stocked up pretty good for the guest here. I sure hope they enjoy their experience while they're here with me. I'm going to show you my favorite part of this cabin. This is the California cooler. Alright, California cooler runs about 3 feet in the ground, and if you know anything about Alaska soil, it stays cold year round. So I could dig about 1 foot in the ground right now, and you probably couldn't go any further because of the frost. So this is the refrigerator back in the old days. I may do a little segment just on it, but yeah, seeing something like that reminded me of a conversation I used to have with my mama. I used to go up there and talk to her about the pioneer days that she lived in, and she lived to be like 96 years old. So she grew up back in 1930s and 40s, and I remember her saying that they used to put milk in a creek to keep it cool. So whenever I seen that, I thought of my mama and that conversation that we had. And another thing I thought she was pretty neat back then about the pioneer days is, like, they'd make bread, and she would put it underneath the cabin in her house, and underneath the cabin at my Mama Rosie's house, just to keep it warm. So underneath the kind of like where the stove area is after they made the bread, and they'll do that for the morning breakfast. So I'm gonna walk you around the outside, and then we'll go on the inside. Okay, there's my wood station. There's a little bunk. There's another solar. As you can tell, this old logs, which is really cool. Those snow, I can assure you they need it up here where I'm at. I'm far north. I'm about an hour-and-a-half flight north of Anchorage, Alaska. Yep, that's a bear cage. We keep bear cages up all year round here because, hey, I've got a black bear that tears my trash up every night, and I've got him on camera. And I'm gonna be sure and post his pictures of him. I'm gonna call him Ted. So here's just the place where people will get to grill out and cook. Do some cooking here. All right, let's walk into the Pioneer cabin. All right, here's the first view of the Pioneer cabin. I made the beds. Try to do some the military creases on the beds there. Here's the the couch, the hangout place. Here's the Crocs, the shoes, all you got for wading purposes if you want to go out and wade in the lake, which is kind of shallow. They try to keep the peace and quiet up here. The books are here if you want to read some books and just get off the grid for a little bit and turn that phone off, which is a bad habit that all of us have. But anyways, here's the bed you get to sleep in. The old school refrigerator. It does not work though. It's just for storage at this point. And here's the JetBoil systems that I continue to talk about through all my blog series. And here's the food stockage of dehydrated food. There we go, get that light right. Some chili, just strawberries are awesome, just even without without water. They're really good. The apples are good, taste like mixed vegetables. Are easy to make. You kind of simmer them a little bit, a little boil. Chili's the same way, and then just as the instructions say there, keep it warm, let it sit for 7 minutes. Blueberries are awesome, even dehydrated, even with without water. I just grab a handful of them every now and then. So, just some ideas: some chicken sausage, some vegetable stew. So there's your little dehydration process. You just pour some water in that, get it boiling. Man, you could eat on that stuff 30 years. I'm going to do a little vlog on the food, I think, here coming up. Trying to get that going. The old wood stove. We've got the wood and the kindling ready for that. So, I won't get it too hot in here. It's supposed to get really hot in here is what everybody's saying. Wildlife in Alaska. I have seen, hopefully it'll pop up. Here we go. I've seen 3 moose out here in the water. I've got pictures of a black bear in my trash. I've got a gazillion mosquitoes. And they say mosquitoes are bad here. They are horrible. They're like the Alaska state bird. I mean, I get ate up. That's why I keep all my long sleeve shirts on. And yeah, that's a bear cage because I don't want that black bear coming in here. He's aggravating so. Anyways, guys, this is an off-grid cabin here at Lake Creek, Alaska. One of the many Alaska off-grid cabins. It is backed up by, it's powered by solar, but it's also backed up by generator. This phone works. You could actually call down at the lodge. If I need something, I can call down at the lodge. So, like I said, this is a glamping cabin. This is you can check out at 9 a.m. and that's what I'm here for. Is for the guests, for the Wilderness Place Lodge to get them going. But anyways, guys, I just wanted to do a quick video on the Pioneer cabin, the Pioneer outpost up here in Alaska, and what my job is this summer. Thanks for following. Thanks for watching along.